What's up, guys? It's been a minute. Just gotten really busy with life, but I want to do a little review of the car from recent to now, just because I've done so much stuff to it. And I really haven't made a video over the car, actually, like everything that I've done to it up to this point. It's been a couple months since I've done a drift event, but I'm going to be doing a drift event here in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be at Cam Acres. It's one of my buddies' private event. There's supposed to be like 30 people there, but they're supposed to be really good drivers. So I'm really hyped about that. The car is pretty much set. Just did an oil change on it. Probably going to do a transmission flush and then get all my tires and stuff put on and everything. But the car is pretty much ready, suspension, everything wise, like with the engine and everything. So everything's good on it. So I just got to go over it real quick, make sure all the fluids are good on it. Power steering stuff is solid, put a cooler on it. So I'll kind of go over all the stuff that's on the car so far, since I haven't made a video, I want to say in like 4 months. I've been really busy with everything, but no excuse. I'm going to jump right into it. So let's talk first about the angle kit. I actually installed the angle kit wrong, but on these tie rods right here, you have to cut these an inch off. So like the inner tie rod, and I did not do that. So I recently just did it, stopped my binding issue, and then that solved pretty much the whole angle kit issue with it going loose and everything. Everything's tight now. I did a whole bolt check on it, and everything should be good now for this next event. So if we jump to the front of here, I don't know if you can really see it. Oh yeah, you can see it perfectly. So I put a cooler on my power steering. So funny thing about these cars, they come with just a line. These lines go in front of the radiator, and that's the cooler. There's no type of fins or anything like this. This was like 20 bucks at AutoZone's. I mean, it's freaking tiny. It's like the size of my hand, but it does the job. I know it's zip tied, but there's no mounting point for it, and I really don't have an area to mount it. So as long as it cools the power steering, I really don't care where it's at. Now, as far as the engine goes, it's still stock. Like I said in a previous video, second season, it's almost over. I did say that whenever I'm done with this season, I'm going to modify this engine. Engine's doing fine. It's not burning oil. It's not making any weird noises. Cams sound good. Cam phasers, usually the things that go out, they sound fine. So what I'm possibly going to do is either cam it, do a tune, and then do an intake and whatever, and do some long tube headers. But I'm kind of going towards the turbo. So they have an On3 kit for this car. They're like $2,000. That's kind of what I'm leaning to, because it is a little bit cheaper than doing the full bolt-on. I can just throw a turbo kit on it with a stock, get it tuned, and I can make like 450 horsepower. So onto the front again, I actually finally bit the bullet and bought some good front tires. So these are some Accelera, I think they're 351s, and they're 245 4018s. And let me just say, these are a super wide tire. Like, I've checked everything. I've kind of matched my specs, made sure everything fit correctly on it, and they don't rub anywhere. Now, I don't have a load on it yet, like driving it, you know, fully lock. I might have to adjust my bump stocks whenever I'm driving out there, but I think we're pretty good on front grip. This is, you get the 651s, but this is about as grippy as you want to go on this car, especially it just being stock power. Now, as far as the back tires, I still have some tires that I have that I need to burn. I'm probably going to buy another set of those that are like probably 235s and put them in the rear just to get that sidewall bite that everybody's talking about. I want to get grip. I kind of want grip now in the back, because I've drifted with high pressure and stuff like that for the rear, but I'm kind of wanting to get that grip, kind of grip the car up a little bit. But you know, it is what it is. If I order tires, then I order tires, but I have a bunch of set of tires that I can burn throughout this event. And I had this same question. So this is the oil that I've been running in this car. It's VR1 10W30. This is what I put in the Mustang. It's just a 3-valve 4.6, and I have had no problems with it. I actually like this oil a lot better, just because it's a thicker oil. It doesn't get super hot really quickly, and it makes driving the car a lot more fun, because I'm not worried about the engine oil getting overheated or getting thin, because this oil, the recommended oil for these cars, and it says it right here, is a 5W20. If you know anything about like engine oil and stuff like that, 10W30, the 10 is just the weight. 30 is kind of the same, but the 10 brings that weight up, so it doesn't get thin as quickly as say a 5W20 or a 5W30. So bringing that weight up to a 10 helps me in the long run just to keep the oil cooler and make the oil a lot thicker, so the viscosity of it, so it keeps the oil thicker for longer, so I can run. I usually run about 3 events on one oil change, and then I change the oil again, versus whenever I was running 5W30, 5W20, I was changing it pretty much every event. It was kind of getting expensive. And the VR1 really is like the same price as the oil that I was already running that's a 5W20. So one modification that I actually did to this car recently is I was able to find this on Marketplace, but it is a Hurst short throw shifter. So I've been wanting a short throw shifter for this car for a while, and I ended up finding one on Marketplace for $100. Bushings are still good. Everything's good. It's all urethane. So everything's pretty good on that. I've driven in an event already with that, and it feels pretty good. Now, the throw isn't super crazy, but, you know, it's really notchy, and I would say it's about 40% reduction of shifting. So it's not a super great amount, but it is a pretty good amount. So that is how the car sits as of now. What I'm really happy about that I actually fixed is the power steering. So ever since I put that cooler on it, flushed the whole system, changed all the lines, I don't have any more issues with power steering overflowing, having to put a rag on there. This literally does not even sweat anymore. The only thing that I probably have to fix is the brake fluid. So I'm running through brake fluid, but as to be expected, I mean, stock brakes, stock system, it does get hot after a while. But again, that is one of the issues. It does get overheated, but nothing to be ashamed about, and it works fine. The only thing that I probably need to take out is the ABS fuse that I haven't taken out before, because I've almost hit somebody before just because my ABS kicks in and it starts doing this, and you're not able to brake fully, so the wheels don't technically lock up. But it's good and bad to have ABS, but, you know, again, probably going to take that out before the next event. And right now you can see how wide the tire setup is. It's freaking insane. This side is a little bit more, but I think my fender on this side, I think it's bent a little bit. But it is jacked up, so it's not basically sit level on this. But you can see on this fender, it's pinched from the last event where I got too much angle and actually pulled in my fender a little bit. So that is the update on the Mustang. Not a whole lot that I've been doing to it. I've been taking a break from drifting a little bit just because it does get expensive, and I don't have $1 million. If I did, I'd probably be drifting almost every single weekend, every single event, because there is literally an event every single weekend this year. Even this whole year, there's probably been at least an event every single weekend for the past year. So it is something that you can do if you have a lot of money, but I don't have a whole lot of money that's spare on stuff like that. You know, I have a family. I got to support my family first before I do any of this stuff. But it's going to be fun when we go to this private event at Cam Acres with a couple of my friends. So, but I'm going to show you all my truck setup and my towing setup, just because I haven't really said anything about it. I haven't brought up about it. I never made a video about the truck that I bought, so it'd be a good time to show that to you guys. So y'all probably seen this in the back of my videos, but this is the tow rig. So I've actually done a lot to this truck to make it what it is, and I actually bought a bigger trailer for my car because the other trailer is 14 foot, this is 16 foot, have a lot more space on it. But onto this truck, the only things that I've done, I actually bought a camper for it because we are going to be camping at the track, so that makes it a lot better. I don't have to bring a tent or anything. Keeps my stuff dry. And then as far as the truck, the engine's pretty much stock. I have done water pump, radiator, I've flushed the system, and then I just do regular oil changes. And this truck, it is a Hemi, so it does have that Hemi tick. It's actually the leaking manifold, and I've been wanting to fix it, but I just haven't had the chance to do it because this is my daily driving truck. It's the only thing that sucks. I've been wanting to buy a daily driver, but this truck drives good. I only have to drive like 20 minutes to work, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, I'm going to get to one of the main modifications that I think you should do on any pickup truck that you buy, whether it's a diesel, a V8 like this one, or any type of truck that you're going to be towing with. So right here is basically the best modification that you can do for any type of towing truck that you're going to use. So these are airbags. I actually bought these off of Amazon for $200, so they're pretty cheap. Did not cost me a whole lot of money, and it didn't cost me a whole lot to put them on. So I put them on myself, obviously. The only thing that I ran into is, if you can see up there, I actually had to weld the top of them on there. You have to take the bump stops off, and when I was taking them off, almost all the bolts broke. I think one of them survived, but I think 3 of them broke. So I ended up just welding them on there. I had a welder at my house, so I was like, whatever. But put the airbags on. Comes with some airline. You have the airline that goes up to here. I can't remember his name, but YouTube guy put them in the license plate like this, so whenever you take the valve stems off, or the valve stem covers, I just use my portable air tank and I can air them up. So what I usually run whenever I'm pulling my car is like 50 psi. You can run these up to, I think the recommended is like 100 psi, but don't quote me on that. But they're basically like off-brand Firestone airbags. And then this is my recent purchase, is this ARE camper shell. So the reason that I bought this is we're gonna do a lot of camping, and I don't know if certain places have, like, you know, hotels and stuff like that. So this just makes it easier for us to not only save money, but we don't have to set up a tent. We literally just take everything out of the truck, and we have this camper so we can sleep in it. It'll keep us dry. And it was leaking when it rained when I first bought it, but I only paid $200 for this thing. So color matched already, and I'm not sure if this is correct fit for my truck because it fits kind of weird, but it's almost dead perfect with the length of the bed and the width of it. So not really caring about that, but it does stay dry now since I put all the silicone on the windows. So if we come back here, you can see the guy that I bought it from, he actually made a plexiglass because this glass broke, so he basically modified this. This is just to keep it closed because I don't have any handles for it. Obviously it's not made for the truck, but it fits good enough. Came with the clamps, and then what I plan on doing, I got this scrap wood. We have a air mattress that we're gonna put in here, and then I bought a buddy heater. They were on sale at Tractor Supply, and I knew when we go to this event, it's probably gonna be cold. So what I did is I ended up buying it, or I got this wood from a shop where I work at, and I'm gonna make some type of shelf in the corner, whether over here or over there. And so that just keeps the buddy heater up, so it's not gonna freaking set us on fire while we're sitting in here. But honestly, this is a really good investment because not only does it keep your stuff dry, it keeps your stuff safe. So if you want to lock your stuff back here, you know, it basically deters thieves from coming and taking your stuff, especially when you have tires and jacks and all that stuff in the back of your truck. It keeps it where you're not having to deal with thieves stealing anything out of the back of your truck, because a lot of these places that you go to, especially these drifting places, can be sketchy. So again, you always want to keep yourself safe, and you want to keep thieves away from stuff because you don't want to rebuy things. But as far as the truck goes, pretty much stock, like I said. It has a 5.7 liter Hemi in it. And then they always talk about transmissions going on in this truck. I think when I bought this truck, I actually was looking underneath it, and it looks like somebody refurbished the transmission or put a new transmission in it or refinished the transmission. So again, there's that as well. So I did a leveling kit just to make it look cooler, but I mean, obviously you don't have to do any of that. The Hemi already has, I think, 350 horsepower and around 375 foot-pounds of torque. So it's, everybody always talks about towing with a diesel. You don't have to. Obviously this is the Daytona package, so it did have this stupid body kit on it. I took off of it. Looked super, kind of looked dumb, to be honest, but took all that off. Has a hood scoop, so it does air cool pretty good. This is actually functional, so I bought this off eBay because this was missing when I bought it, and this is the Viper style hood scoop. So this is the same hood that actually comes on the Viper Dodge Ram. So pretty cool truck. Really good daily driver. Gets decent gas mileage. I think I get like 13 miles a gallon when I'm pulling my Mustang, and that's like long trips, like 8-hour drives to one place. So it does pretty good. I haven't had anything go wrong with it yet. It does have like 209,000 miles on it, so I put almost 20,000 miles on it this year, driving to events, driving to work, whatever that. And I've just changed the oil about every 3,000 miles just to keep up with the oil changes. So now we're gonna get to this. So the trailer, I never said anything about this trailer. I just bought the trailer. I sold my other trailer because it was way too short. It was 14 foot long, and it was wide enough, but it wasn't long enough. So I just didn't want to, I wanted enough room where I could strap the car down comfortably and not have to put the car on there because I was having too much tongue weight. So the front of the trailer, if I can point at it, this is kind of weird, it looks like a mirror. But anyways, the front of the trailer, there was just not enough room. So that 2 foot, I was having to park all the way in the front of it. It was putting it really close to my car and making it kind of hard to load it on the trailer. So on this trailer, I have an extra 2 feet of room, and then with the dovetail, the bumper sits about right here, and then I'm able to position the car over the actual axles. So on my other trailer, I wasn't able to put them on the axle. The car was more forward, which made it harder in the long run. So on this trailer, I actually had a winch mount. I took that off because the first day I put my car on this trailer, I ran on the winch mount and messed my bumper up. So again, that's not a big deal. And then the missing lug nuts, I put those on. I'm not even sure what size wheel this is. I know the actual size of the wheel is a 15-inch, but the actual lug pattern, we went to Driven Look in Alabama a couple months ago, or about a month ago in September. And what had actually happened is I had a tire that was going low really quick. What found out halfway there was my valve stem. So we just kept airing it up, and we would stop, air it up, and it took us forever to get there because of me, because I had to keep stopping to air up my tire. I didn't have a spare, and I actually stopped at Tractor Supply, bought a spare. And the spares, trailer spares are like $170 at Tractor Supply, so they are not cheap, they're expensive. I bought the spare, we went to the drift event. I found out the tire was the wrong size anyways, and the lug pattern was I think 5 by 5.5, and it was the wrong lug pattern. So I'm pretty sure this is like an old Dodge lug pattern or something like that. So I'm gonna have to figure out what that is so I can get a spare tire for it and make it where if I do have a flat, I won't get screwed, because the 2 trailers that I've had 2 flats. So it's not very good luck with me with trailers. But anyways, that's the trailer. And I think the only thing I did to this trailer was actually redo the wiring, because if you know anything about trailers, whoever does wiring on trailers, sometimes you just want to punch them right in the fucking neck, because what the hell is freaking electrical taping connections together? Use butt connectors, solder it, whatever. It makes it last longer, and it's not hanging all underneath the trailer. So when I got back from Mid-Pond, I took this trailer there, and all the wiring was hanging down whenever I got back. So whenever I got back, I had to redo the wiring. And doing wiring on a trailer this big sucks. It sucks. So the ramps that are on this trailer, I actually had to make ramps for this. So I bought this trailer for, I think, $1,900. I sold my other trailer for $1,500. I basically paid $1,500 for it, sold it for $1,500. Didn't lose any money, but funny thing about these trailers, you never lose money on this. So these trailers, they hold their value for so long. I really need to replace the wood on it, but it's still good. But yeah, the ramps, I am a weld instructor, and I had my students actually make the ramps for me. So pretty much did it for me, and they did a pretty good job on them. I just stormed under there, and I made this little bracket to kind of keep those from coming out. And then this bungee cord is to keep them from stacking on top of each other, so it keeps it pulled out. So whenever I do get to an event after driving 6 hours, they're not shoved in there and wedged in there, and I don't have to try to pull them out. The only thing on this trailer that I would say that I don't like is the fenders sit up way too high. So if you can look from here, they're probably maybe a foot tall, and my door is really low to the ground, so I pretty much have to climb out of my car every single time. So maybe in the near future I'll sell this trailer and get an 18-footer, but I'm not super sure yet if I'm going to do that, or modify the fenders and do that. And then the truck that you see behind the trailer, that's my wife's truck. So I actually built that truck. She's been wanting a single cab short bed truck for a long time. All I did was do a C-notch kit on it, dropped the front with 2-inch spindles, and I had to end up cutting the muffler off because it was sitting on the muffler. So it's a loud V6 truck. So we've been actually looking for a V8 for this truck for a while now. I just can't find a good deal on an LS. I really don't feel like spending, freaking $900 on a freaking 200,000 mile LS. But this is pretty much the setup. So I have the car is pretty much ready, truck's pretty good and ready. I think I need to do an oil change on that. And then the trailer, pretty much good to go. I've checked all the tires. We had to actually fix the tire when we were at Driven Luck, so that's all good to go. And I think I'm going to try to figure out what this bolt pattern is And if y'all know what it is, it's not a 5x5.5, like, you know, like the standard trailer tire size. And I think these are 3,500 pound axles, which doesn't make any sense. So this might be really old axles. But this trailer, one more thing about this trailer, it has trailer brakes, but they don't work because the trailer brake lines are disconnected, and it's not like an electric brake system. So it has the hydraulic system, so when you brake, this comes in and it goes out. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm gonna try to make some more videos. I love making YouTube videos, but sometimes I don't have the time to make content, or I'm lazy and I don't want to do it. So if you like this video, please hit a like, please leave a comment, motivate me to make videos, because I love making videos, especially the edits when we're drifting. But there will be a drift video for Cam Akers with my buddy's private event. And if you don't know him, I'm gonna call him out right here. His name's Danny. He drives a blue Miata. I think he just turboed it. So it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be a fun drift event. And then my buddy Jordan, he's actually gonna go with his E30. So it's gonna be a super sick event. 30 people I think is gonna be there. It's gonna be so many freaking good drivers. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.